fuck with us. I don't focus on the past. Don't know what we want, but shit, we want it fast. Fuel up in the tank and some open roads. Blowing smoke about the windows, better open those. Think we've been doing pretty good as far as hoping goes. Hey yo, my name is J.Lately. It's fucking great to be here with y'all today, man.
I got nothing but love. Oh, what you got don't put you above me. You got everything, except for what you need is love.
If you do knock your tooth down, we can cause some shit just as long as it ain't too bad. Nothing feels quite like open yard after too fast. Need some validations, she might need a few times. We've been having so much fun, I don't know what to do, man. I might buy a Honda Odyssey and knock the roof out. Couple folks scared if I ever let the truth out, but I won't let that corny shit be y'all on.
He's the rap whisperer, and here we have.
J.Lately.
So who is J.Lately? Where are you from?
I grew up in Sebastopol, California. It's like a small town, an hour north of the Bay Area. I was born in Oakland, but then like moved up there when I was young, and that's where I spent most of my childhood and formative years.
Okay, what did you get out of like growing up in that place, in that area? Like, how did you go from there, such a small place, to become like who you are and be so much into rap? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure there wasn't a lot of rap around.
No, there wasn't up there, but like we were close enough to the Bay Area that we identified a lot with like Bay Area rap music, even though it's a very different place up there, you know what I mean?
So what kind of music were you like hearing on the radio? Kind of like more E40, or was it more of the new school?
More like E40 and Mac Dre was big back then, like super big, and but you know, it was also like at that time all that was on the radio though was like or you know, national stuff. Like they weren't really playing Bay Area music on the radio. It would just be like CDs and stuff or whatever. But on the radio it was just like 50 Cent, you know, Eminem, all that stuff. Like that's what I started listening to. But like it took, then I kind of dug a lot deeper into what was actually out there in hip hop, and kind of like found my place in the music that I really related to. Like I always liked the music that I heard on the radio, but then it took me a little to find some music that I could really relate to.
So what was it where it was like that song or that verse that made you gravitate towards rap?
I think it's just like the being able to express yourself. Like when I was first starting to write, I guess like in high school, I don't always like being in big groups of people, so it was something that I enjoyed doing, like where I felt like I could be doing something that I thought was cool and that was fun, but I could be doing it by myself in my bedroom, and I didn't have to be like out with hella people and stuff. And it just felt something like it was productive and it was fun and it was cool, and I could do it alone and still have fun, or like with a small group of my friends and have fun and stuff.
Okay, so tell me about your latest project, Bodega.
Yeah, that's a new album that I just put out, and that was actually recorded, most of it was up in this little town called Bodega Bay, which is like 30 minutes away from Sebastopol, which is, it's like where we go to the beach basically. And like during high school you've been out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super dope. So we would, that's like where we would go in high school to like get away from our parents. We'd go have like bonfires and kick it and all that stuff. So it's kind of like freedom, and like, you know, like the freedom of just like being out by the ocean, and that's something I've always connected with a lot.
When did you start rapping, and do you remember the first rhyme that you wrote?
It was in high
Why are
school.
you laughing?
No, because I have no idea. I don't remember. I don't remember the first rhyme I wrote.
How long was high school for you?
Damn,
You don't have
like
to show your age or
10
anything.
plus years at this point.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I've been doing this for a minute. I've been doing this for a minute. Yeah.
What made you like kind of keep going despite the challenges and everything? Because now you're kind of just getting seen. I guess
Right.
if that makes sense. So a lot of people have like quit within 5-year process if they like don't get their name out there. But for you being in there, they say it takes 10 years for an overnight success.
Right.
So like, what made you keep going despite being in the game for so long?
I mean, for one, just loving it, and like it's really hard not for me to do this kind
It's
of like.
the only thing that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
no, I know.
So that's part of it, but then also part of it too is at the beginning I wasn't really fully applying myself. Coming from a place like Sebastopol, not seeing anyone else from my high school be successful as a rapper or be any good, more or less. Like, I mean, no, we just weren't. Even when I was in high school, I wasn't, because we weren't around situations that would like teach us how to be good rap. You know what I'm saying? Like it's taken me a long time, and it's also taken me time to even build the confidence to like dedicate myself fully to this as my pursuit in my life, and like, you know what I mean? So that's why I do keep going, because the more I dedicate myself, it works. And like a lot of what was holding me back at the beginning, I think, was not actually believing that I could do this. You know what I'm saying?
Now you do believe, and you see the
Right,
fruits of your labor.
and you see that it works.
That shit means that it's meant for you.
Right. Well, that's what
Well,
I
I
hope.
feel like Spirit had to say that. That was me. You know
I
what
appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. But when did you start rapping? Do you remember the first rhyme that you?
I don't at all.
You know, was it kind of like a rhyme that you wrote? Kind of you listened to a song and tried to imitate that song?
The first shit that I would do was like take other people's. So I noticed I was really good at memorizing people rap songs that I would listen to, right? And then I'd start flipping their
that song that you.
like ATLiens by Outkast was one for sure.
Andre 3000 is like top 5.
For sure.
Yeah, top 5.
Yeah, that was one of those songs that I just knew. There was a Wyclef song that I knew hella well. This is when I was in like 8th grade or some shit like that. I don't know, 9th grade, something. But I would just kind of flip some of their words. So I'd start to say, you know, if they say Dre, I'd say J. Or like, and then change more. And then like,
That's a new thing.
then I'd take little pieces of like instrumentals and kind of loop them. And then just start writing to other, but it would be like whatever song, it would be like a Snoop Dogg instrumental, but I would just write a song over it. And then finally I met some people who could make beats and, you know, things like that.
I'll be fine somewhere where the coast is. Tell them all these walls make me anxious. Ain't putting all my shit in the open. I'm blowing all my spliffs by the ocean. Never lost from the lack of motivation. I can hide, but I don't have the patience. They want it all out there in the open. Find it all out there by the ocean.
I think me personally, most of my setbacks have been kind of just me getting in my own way sometimes, and not being willing to like fully dive, and because it's a scary thing, like to like, and a lot of people don't do it.
Are you more of a private person?
Yeah, big time.
So how do you do you play like 2 different personas, like Beyonce, Sasha Fierce? Kind of in a sense, is that like who you are? 'Cause
No,
I can
I
tell
can't.
even talking to you right now, you're kind of like reserved.
I can't, like, honestly, I can't play 2 different personalities, so it's a thing of me figuring out how to put myself out there, but be myself, but
How
still
do
be
you do
comfortable
that?
about it. Just by, like, practice, I guess. And, I mean, it's not, you know, just doing it, I
Especially
guess.
like being a rapper, that's like very personal. You have to put your personal self out there, and then
Right.
you're writing. In a sense, you have to be very vulnerable.
Right.
Yeah. So.
But there
are
is
you
something
still-
I enjoy about being, like, about sharing this music with people. Like, it is something about the way that we connect over this music that is important to me too. So it's like, if I wasn't sharing it, then why would I even be doing it?
That's true. So in a
So I
sense,
have to.
for you, it's kind of like sharing your vulnerability and being able to connect with people. Do you find that that's like why you wake up every day, like, okay, why you continue rapping, because it's kind of like the way for you to connect with other people? Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think music is like, I could go on forever, but I think music is like a very special thing, obviously, and it's
very
one of
special.
those things that connects us in ways that not a lot of things do.
So what goes through your mind like when you're writing these raps?
Honestly,
Where do you pull from, like personal experiences?
yeah, a lot of personal experiences. I think I write my best songs when I actually think less, and the more I can just let it flow out of me is when the magic happens. The more when I'm saying, okay, it should be this, is when I kind of like stifle myself. So I try not to even think, right? I just play. It's always got to be a beat first, or like the music's got to be first, make me feel some type of way, and then just let whatever starts coming out come out, and then maybe I can go back and reshape some things or whatever. But like, just try to get the initial feeling out.
Who is
Right.
somebody that you want to work with that you haven't worked with yet?
Devin the Dude.
Devin the Dude?
Yeah.
Really?
Devin the Dude's been like one of my
Oh
favorites
my
for a
god,
long
the
time.
song that he has with Andre 3000.
Yeah.
What's that song? He went in on that one. Damn, I can't believe I forgot.
It's on, yeah.
But we both know what.
And maybe Snoop's on that song or some shit like that,
yeah,
I think.
exactly. Yeah, Devin the Dude's dope. Too.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
are you more of your influence like West Coast or?
I think kind of from all over, but if it leans anywhere, West Coast for sure. And I went to college in LA, or like a little outside of LA, so during that time when in LA, like Pac Div was going hard, and Dom Kennedy, and like TDE was dimmed and like just starting, and then
That was like the 2009 era.
Right.
That was like the blog era.
right,
Yeah, I
and it was
working that
amazing. And like
blog.
Evidence and J.Lately was doing shows, and just being able to go. Blue's one of my favorite rappers like
Yeah, Blue is
that.
awesome.
Below the Heavens came out around that time, so I was able to go to like see these fucking people, and so that is that was a huge influence on me. That was the first time where I really got to, after being in this little town of Sebastopol, got to
Being
like
able to come out of
go to the actual fucking show.
Let the coast rest, do better, trust the process. People love to act like it's the same team just to get the name seen. It's cool with me long as you're paying green. Couple trips a day to the bodega store. Wonder what they take us for. This life's a trip I'm trying to take a tour. All of this potential got me so stressed, but I just trust the process.
plans for 2022.
Put out this next album, shoot a bunch of videos, and get back to doing shows. Like, I'm super excited to be back doing shows.
Thank you. This is J.Lately.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Please comment, like, subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, where can we find you?
Check me out on Instagram at J.Lately, online, anywhere, just J.Lately. And yeah, look me up, YouTube, Spotify, all that shit.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
But how I act so shy in public isn't lame, it's gorgeous. Wasn't concerned with all the fame and fortunes, but they've been increasing my praise and all my payment portions. I got my mojo back, I hold in the wallet until my show go pack. Shouldn't be too long till I get my style and my logo jack. Jumping, doing flips for this shit just like it's my pogo act. You think someone could bring me some fro-yo back? Motherfucker.